I'm always changing things around and having little, what I call mini weekend projects. Even if I do them at night, I still call them weekend projects because you can achieve it all in a weekend. And often when I'm building something, I get things wrong. I sit around after I've built these things and then I suddenly spot what I consider is a mistake or an improvement, as I did with this one. So remember, I put these railway sleepers in, as you can see over there. So they were put all the way around, and that was for the purpose of levelling up the ground, which I've now done behind it, as you can see. But the one thing that bugged me when I'd done it was the fact that I'd made this go across the lawn. And I said at the time, so that particular one there went across here. And I said at the time, I wasn't really happy with that. I wasn't sure about it. And I've sat with it and had a think about it and thought, do you know what, that's going to cause me major problems with the lawn. Now, I said, remember this, that I'm not a big fan of lawns and I'd rather get rid of it and put gravel in its place. I've decided against that. Can you believe I've actually decided against putting gravel down? I want to keep it as a lawn or a lawned area. And I tell you time and time and time again that grass is a monoculture. But, you know, if you let it grow long and wild, it can become quite a haven for insects, especially once the wildflowers get in there. But I never do that. I keep this trimmed. And I've intended to actually put some seed down, which I'm actually going to do once I've filmed this. So I've changed it. Taken out that section there, as you can see, cut it, lifted it, removed it, and then I've levelled it down here so that now it all comes around here. I'm walking backwards at the minute and going downhill. And that will make life so much easier. And that's based on the fact that I've decided to keep it as a lawn. So that's going to be a lot easier for cutting and a lot easier for access, especially when I have visitors to the garden. Now, the other change that you may have noticed I've done is put a couple of steps in. Now, they're not really there for people to walk down. They're okay, they will take weight, no problem at all, but they're not really for us humans to step down to the wildlife dip pools. They are really there for looks, to make it look nice and to hold back more of the bank, which it is doing. Now, when I did the dip pools, I said they were for wildlife, and that's still the intention. So I have to leave areas where wildlife can get through, and I've done that there. Look, you can see they can go through there, so not really caused a problem for wildlife. So wildlife can make its way through at different points and get to the pools themselves, get down to the water and get down to the water safely. Should they fall in, not a problem, they can get out because it's on a bank. So there's no sharp drops into it, as you know. So this is even better now. I'm quite happy again with it. How long will I be happy? Don't know. We'll see. And what the other thing that I've done was I said when I filmed the two changes, the two weekend projects, was that I was going to make a change to this corner, which I've done. So I've lifted this grass, which is Miscanthus sinensis, and it's called Ghana, as in the country. And it has a lovely leaf, and actually I've known better years for this than this, but they do tend to start with this almost bronzed leaf, and then they produce these lovely seed heads that are more red when they're new. Obviously these are going through now. And it was here, if you remember, it was stuck in there, that gap there. Lifted it, split it into 3 plants actually, and put it there. And I think you'll agree that looks a lot better. So this area in front of the boardwalk has also been levelled out better. So that once I put the grass down, we're going to get a more coherent area to walk on. It's going to be more level. Now, the bank does still rise up from that grass section. That's actually where the rise starts going up towards the steps. And obviously at some point this has to happen. We have to have access to them steps. So naturally it will go up. If I was to fill that, this section here would need to be at least 2 more railway sleepers on top, and then that would be ridiculously high and probably cause a few problems later on. And I am going to keep the pathway as well. I've decided, can you believe I've decided I'm going to keep the grass. I can't believe that I often tell you all that, You shouldn't be keeping grass, it's a monoculture, but you know, sometimes it's the right thing to do. And in this case, it's exactly what I'm doing. Now, the other change I decided to make, and for the keen-eyed of you, you may have spotted this when I was in this area. This used to have Buxus sempervirens, which is the box edge, both sides. And to be quite honest with you, I've never really been happy with that. Thought that there would be a better use for those. So what I've done, because things are in a state of change, I've put them here. And I think it looks great there. So don't be afraid to change things. I'm always doing it. I only came up with this last night. I decided last night, well, actually the night before I'd thought about it, and then through the night I decided, you know what, yeah, let's lift them. Let's put them here. And I think it looks great. Now, I am going to shape that over time. Who knows, I may even shape it this weekend into a little bit of a better shape. These will take very well because they were very well rooted when I pulled them out. And box edge is very forgiving. But it now kind of borders that, gives it a border, gives it some sort of static look with the grasses behind it. And I think that looks great. I decided I wouldn't go any further. I'd stop it here because I need access into that border. Now, that wouldn't be a problem because I can step off the steps simply. But I just thought, yeah, you know, it'll look nice with a bit of a gap there, a little bit more of an interest. So I've used all the box edge that I had, but I have got some baby plants and I can get access to some bigger plants as well and put those in. But I've decided, you know what, I'm going to leave it like that because I like it. And I particularly like that Cortaderia Patagonia behind it. It really looks nice now. It's kind of setting it off a little bit better. So it's looking great. So they're the changes I've made. Don't be afraid to make these changes. People so often think they've put all the time into it and they don't want to change it. And I'm not like that. If I see a change and I think, oh, I've made a bit of a boo-boo there, I'll just do it. I'll just change it. And that's exactly what I've done here. And I think it's a lot better now. And because I have decided that it's going to be lawn, it made sense to take out that sleeper that went across the lawn. It makes no sense to leave it. And now what we've done is it actually starts flat there. That's all flat going up to the boardwalk, and then it comes back in, it slowly drops down, and then it drops down to that area there, which will be quite nice for walking. And in fact, it's very nice now. I am going to overseed this. I am going to overseed this once I've come off this film. And within 2 to 3 weeks, I guess we'll have some sprouting going on. We will see the grass popping its head through, because I bought one that will germinate very quickly, and it's lovely and warm and expected to be over 20 degrees in the first week in October, which is great. I love it. So, changes. Again, changes. Don't be afraid to make change upon change. If it works, great. I'm always making changes, as you know, so it's sometimes maybe people think I make too many changes, but actually I'm always doing them for the right reasons, never the wrong reasons. And I'm not making them for the sake of it. I'm doing it because it will work better. And as you can see, my tools are still there. I'm a very lazy gardener where tools are concerned. In fact, they've been stuck out there for the last week since I've been working on this area, which is crazy because they're getting rusty as well. But there, it'll be all right. So there you go. There you go. Another change to the raised border. I'll talk to you on the next one. Ta-da.